Hi Julia Watts here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to have another look at Sentimentally Yours Floral Finery, the third release of Floral Finery, and this is going to be like my last video using these new dyes, for now at least. Certainly the Floral Fineries are going to work very well with the new products coming out in September and also in October. So you will see them crop up in cards that myself and the design team make in the future, obviously while stocks last. So in this video, I'll tell you where you can get them. You can get them over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk if I've got any stock left, and also same applies over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk. And if there's something I'm using that I know I don't have but honeypots do, then I'll let you know as we go along. So today we're going to be using the Exquisite Petals, which has cut out detail around the edges and pierced detail in the centre. And we are using the four petal flowers on this project. We're going to be using the not the largest one, but these three here. And with that as well, I'm also going to be using the lovely petals, just so that I don't have to run dyes through the machine lots and lots of times. You can obviously just do this project with the one flower if you wish. So the lovely petals is similar to the what's it called, the Exquisite Petals, but it doesn't have the PS detail along the centre. And we're also going to be using the Majestic Fronds, which is the leaf without the piercing detail. You could obviously use the Magnificent Fronds as well. We're using Stamens, the Sensational Stamens 3, which is new this month as well. And of course it would be rude not to use the Twiddly bits. Don't know if we've got any stock of these left. I think this is going to be the first sellout because it's so different and you're going to use it all the time. Yes, Twiddly bits. Right, so let's crack on. Now we're going to be making an A5 landscape card. So here's my card blank in inverted commas. And using the Magnificence squares, they're here. They're layered differently. Magnificent rectangles. I'm getting my squares and rectangles mixed up yet again. Goodness knows why. Just using the outer layers on this. So I've just realised I need to get my emboss piece. So mirror card. There we are. There's my camera. There's my window. So the largest die is out of silver mirror card, which you will find over at Honeypot. And then pure white card for the next size layer, and I've embossed it with the beautiful Daisy Cascade, which obviously we're in a floral theme, so the Daisy Cascade is perfect. So we're just going to glue those two together. Glue, here we go. Sentimentally Yours PVA as always. Now remember, when you're popping your 3D embossing folder through your machine, we do recommend that you mist your card on both sides before popping it in the folder, and that way the fibres in the card break down and go in and out of your embossing folder bits, so you get a really nice emboss and your card doesn't crack. The pure white card is 270 GSM, so it's a really good weight. Again, available at Honeypot Crafts. I don't tend to stock the card stock, except for the watercolour card, because you guys order fat things with the thin things, and then it's difficult for me to send out. And I don't have the space to stock all the wonderful card that Sentimentally Yours do. Now I'm hoping that doesn't move. We're going to pop that underneath, because mirror card is renowned for being slidey. Now I could not resist making another card using the fancy frames. because I was shocked to see that the Floral Finery fancy frames are still in stock over at Honeypot Crafts. I don't know how, but they are. So you can get the heart, the circle, the square and the rectangle still. As I record this, they are still available. Now they do use the second release of Floral Finery, but as I'm going to show you, you can use any flowers with this. So we're going to be able to use this release and cover up these flowers and make an attempt to cover up the leaves. The leaves do actually come out quite a bit from this frame, so we'll just see how we get on. And we're going to obviously use it, like I say, in this orientation here. So that's your Floral Finery rectangle available from Honeypot Crafts at the moment as I record this. So let's just recap, just in case you're new to this. So if you want to cut the frame out, see if I can get it all in. If you want to cut the frame out, all you need to do is cut this die out here, and that will cut that out. Okay, just that. Then if you want to cut yourself a backer for it, what you need to do is, let's take these off. What you need to do is pop this on a piece of card, pretend my mat is a piece of card, and secure it. With some low tack tape, like so. Then you pop your die in, and it will only go in one way. See, that's not the right way. It will only go in one way. And check that your channels around the edge are evenish, or as even as your eye can see. Then you take this peculiar looking die here and you slot that in. Again, it will only go in one way. And again, you check that your channels are evenish, and then you secure this. Obviously it's sliding around because I'm on my mat rather than card. Secure that with a couple of pieces of low tack tape again, and then you can fish out this die here. Pretend that didn't move, and then you run that through through your machine, and that gives you that. Okay, obviously on the card, not on your mat, and not with the low tack tape that you've used for like 97 million times. I'm very frugal with my low tack tape. And then with this one you get the happy birthday, which is super useful. It's not the way, that's okie dokie. So that's how you cut your frame out. So I've got my backer in the silver mirror here for my sentiment, which is going to go on there, and then I just need to figure out which way this is. Yeah, it's that way. Right, I'm going to get my piece of my gluey piece of mat. It's got lots of bits of glue on this, and we're going to take the brush glue, PVA brush applicator. It's the easiest way. Now I know Phil brushes his on the back of the die cut. I like to put mine on the mat. Whatever is best for you, you do that. You do you, as Mr. Holt says. I can just show you how I do it, and then you do what works for you. So I'm just brushing some glue on, just a thin layer. You don't need much. That should do. I'm going to do the sentiment first because I always forget to do the sentiment. Some tweezers. The only tweezers you'll ever need, the Sentimentally Yours ones, yeah. I always get mixed up between Sentimentally Yours and Honeypot because it's one and the same. But Honeypot is the website and the shop. Sentimentally Yours is the brand. There we go. original. Just dab that off, just so we haven't got too much. And then we'll pop that. On the backer. And then we'll dip this. Good. Well done, Julia. Everything good. Move that out of the way. Just dab that off. And stand up so I can see what I'm doing with this. Go up a bit far. I'm up a little bit far at the top. I think we're going to live with it because it's on. Bits of glue everywhere. Right, okay. What's the going on there? Pressed something. I must have put my elbow on that. Apologies for that. Ignore that. Don't know when I pressed it. Right, so we got that frame on. Beautiful. And what should we do now? We'll do flowers, I think, next. So as I said, we're using these two flowers here. We've got the Exquisite Petals and we've got the Lovely Petals. And I've used my flowers Lavender Meadow card. And we are going to do the on the back and roll it with the embossing tool because this seems to give me a nice full flower. And it is the quickest way to shape the flowers. So as I said, we're using the 4 petal flowers and this is the largest but one. And then we've got our stamen, and I've used the middle size one for this size and the smallest one for the 2 smaller sizes. And we're going to put the one with the piercing detail on top. Come on, glue, you were working 5 seconds ago. Better. So we just swivel that like so, and then we'll put our stamen in. Obviously, if you've got any of the previous stamen sets, they're going to work too. But you can never have too many stamens. And then in the centre, I've counted out my Aurora Gems because I've only got a few of the 8mm left, and I wanted to make sure I got enough. So we're going to put the 8mm ones are the ones that fit in the cup. Then we're going to put glue in the cup of our stamen. A reasonable amount, because the cup is what is it? It's shaped. I can't remember whether it's convex or concave. Concave, I think. And then the gems are flat. So we want to make sure that that's in the middle. Okay. There's a little bit of glue, isn't it? But isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. Right, those for the corners. So those are they. I've also cut some Tatty butterflies out. I've got 3 cut. I've no idea how many I'm using, if any. But these are from earlier this year, but you will find them in stock on both of our websites. So I've cut the smallest 3, and I've got the backer out of pure white, and then I've used the Lavender Meadow for the front. So we're just going to stick these together, and then I can decide how many I'm using, if any at all. So at least they're good to go. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the antennae and the body, and then we're going to dab most of it off. And I do leave, it's up to you, but I tend to leave the antennae on the bottom layer and just stick them together, and then that gives them more strength. I know Phil sometimes chops them off. And I always leave the actual wings loose. There's no need to stick them together. Too much on the antennae. If I don't use them, then they'll go in a box until I do need them. And we have this bigger one. This is the second largest. Going on there, a bit of black off my cutting plates. Come here. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. If I can get it off with that. It'll stick to the wax. That's better. Right, now start again. Okie dokie. There's my 3 butterflies. As I said, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them, whether I'm going to use them or not. Right, so let's construct, and then we can titivate with all of our flowers and twiddly bits. So this is our card blank in inverted commas. And we're going to pop this layer on with 3D foam tape. This is 2mm. I forgot to gut again. Sometimes I remember all the time, and sometimes I forget all the time. So we've wasted a bit of card here, unfortunately. No one bites the dust. Name that song. Is it going through your head? Classic. It's going through my head now. these. Ugh. Right, put a print on the back so I can move it if I need to. Just stand up so I can see. Okay. I'm going to pop our frame on. It is quite uniform. I think this is the bigger side, so this is going to be at the bottom. So I am going to just, oh, not the camera, sorry, that was my knee. I'm going to just put a B there for bottom, because I shall forget. There are some thinner bits on this, so getting your foam tape on is a little bit of a challenge. We'll fill in the gaps in a minute. I love these fancy frames. You just make cards really quickly. All the thinking's done for you. Like I say, I'm shocked that there's some left. Couldn't believe it when I saw that there was. Let's have this piece up here. Right, good. All the bits off. So you can see that this does fit on an A5 card, and we can, and obviously, as I said, I've used the Magnificence rectangles for the mats and layers, which you can use any of the layer differently, either the Exquisite or the Magnificence from this release, or the latest one, or the Ornate, or whichever the other one was called from the previous release. And they'll give you a really classy pierced edge. I think when we launched these, the first layer differently, I think they might have been, pull that off. First layer differently might have been after the fancy frames were out, I think. And I remember I used some of the layers and nobody spotted them. Because it just makes it look so much more classy. I mean, silver and white is very classy anyway. Right, so this is going back there. Look straight to me. Beautiful. And we'll get this sentiment on as well while we are at it. Will that fit? Not quite. Let me just put a little bit on top here. we'll start adding our flowers. And if you've got the frames, there's no need to add extra flowers if you don't want to. You can just stick a pearl or a gem in the centre of each one and you're good to go. As I said, they're very, very quick and easy cards, but very, very elegant. That's straight. Might not be. No. That's better. Right, flowers. Flowers. Let's grab all the flowers. And we need to decide whether we're going to put leaves on. So the leaves, there's only 2 leaves on the frame. So we've got, if we wanted to, we could actually add a big leaf here. Or what we could do is bring in a smaller leaf. And then another smaller leaf. I don't know, actually I like the big one. I actually really like the big one. And the big one would go here as well. Yeah, we're going to do that actually. That's what we're going to do. We are going to trim off this. Trim off that. I did originally cut these out of the fresh mint, but then I thought, no, we'll just keep it to the white with the silver and the lavender meadow. So we are going, yes, we are going to go maybe like that. So it doesn't matter what's underneath. Obviously we're not following the flow of the frame here, but that's fine. You wait till you see it all done. I hope you've watched the video with the snowflake diamond where I've changed that and made that an everyday, because I was rather pleased with that. That worked out really nicely. Right. Now I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put glue in the centre of each of these. So we'll start with these first. So this is the biggest one. They were 6 petal flowers. Now you will see sometimes some of the flowers from underneath. It really doesn't matter because that's part of the frame. Then we need one of the medium-sized ones. I don't want to stick. They're very naughty. We've got this one here. So I cut, we've got 4 of the second smallest, 2 of the second largest, if you like, and we've got 2 of the smallest. The smallest one goes on here. You could even, if you wanted to, add another flower there, because you don't have to follow the frame exactly. And up here again we've got the second largest. Just took my finger in that hole. it's really coming together now. As soon as you add the flowers. Beautiful. I couldn't resist doing another one with the frames. There is the one with the heart one as well. That was the video that I shared on Thursday, last Thursday. Look at that. Fabulous. Isn't that beautiful? You need these fancy frames in your life. If you haven't, why haven't you got them? Because they're fabulous. Absolutely beautiful. Right, do we want to add a butterfly? We could add a butterfly up there, maybe. And a small one down here, maybe. Or do we want the bigger one down here and the smaller one up there? No, I like it with a bigger one at the top, actually. Let's give that some shape. So just putting my finger on the body. I'll put that on there. So I'm not going to use the smallest one. So we're just going to use 2. I don't think the smallest one will fit somewhere. I think it'd be over the top to have the smallest one on there. So that'll be on another project. Let's have it there. This one down here. And then we'll do twiddly bits, because it would be rude not to. Move that out of the way. See, how easy was that? Easy peasy. My little box of twiddly bits that I keep on topping up. And let's see where we might fit some of these in. I've got to be careful because I do not want to colour my sentiment. That would work. What else have we got? I've got that one there. So that would work, definitely. And we could have another one at the top, maybe. Okay, we'll do those two. We might not put loads on this because this frame is beautiful as it is. Let's tab some of that glue off because there's quite a lot of glue on there. So we'll pop it underneath that flower there. We'll maybe have it like that. These twiddly bits take faff into a whole new level. I'm intrigued to see how long Phil takes when he's faffing around with these. Oh, got one. Put that there a minute. Now where was I going to go? I was going to go up here, wasn't I? So again, we can pop that underneath that flower there. and maybe like that. That looks good, doesn't it? And we'll put some little gems on those in a minute. And I wonder if I've got another pair of those. Be symmetrical, this one. There's one. That's a heart. There's another. You can see there's righties and lefties. So I think I am just going to go symmetrical with these. I don't think we're going to... Oh, well, we're going to have anything coming out. Hang on a sec. Do I want to have one coming out of there? I might actually. So we want a right and a lefty of that. Let's see. Let's put that up there out of the way so we've got a bit more room. Glue. And so this one will be underneath there. Maybe like that. This one. Beautiful. Fabulous. Well, we could have actually. How would it be if we had one coming out of there? Yeah, let's do that actually. Put it down a bit. Where did that bit go? There it is. Get up there. So we could have that tucked underneath that flower there and coming out on the leaf. Yeah, let's do that. Because I haven't got room to really have this one coming out because that's going to go on the sentiment. We don't want that. So we just pop it underneath that flower and over the leaf. And then we do the same at the top. And then we can grab, those are going in the corners, so we keep those separate. So I have to sort through them. And we'll take some of the 5mm. And we've got this little dot on the end of each one, which will just about fit a 5mm. Just for more bling. Why not? Why not indeed? Don't know where I'd be without this pick-up tool. They're brilliant for if you're doing paper piecing as well. Pick up your little bits. And one there. So much bling. One there. I think that's it. Should have 6. Oh, that's sliding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So finish off just by putting these 8mm gems in the corners. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Right. How do I do it? There it is. Just check that those are in the right position. They look pretty good actually. That one's slightly. Check the gems are alright. They look alright. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've thoroughly enjoyed making it, and I hope you caught some of my other videos. There's 10 with this collection already on my YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe if you're not already, and I do love to read your comments. As I said, the products, you'll find them over on my website, juliewattscraft.co.uk. Oh, excuse me, frog. If I've still got stock left, and if I haven't, just click the email when available, and if I can get some more, then I'll grab it. Also available from honeypotcrafts.co.uk. Thank you for watching.